Students, welcome back. Again, welcome back to the Brainipedia YouTube channel. Hope so. Am I audible clearly to all of you? Yeah, fine. Right. So, if you guys are new on this particular video, go watch our last two videos on Vedic mathematics, which I have made, where I have taught you guys about certain squaring tricks, right? Those tricks are like I have told you, whenever we talk about Vedic mathematics, we talk about the faster way of calculation, right? So in the first segment of Vedic mathematics, we have decided that we are going to learn about square of numbers, right? Square of numbers from 1 to 1000, right? And for this particular reason, we have divided the squaring tricks of the numbers in three different segments, right? The first segment we called as it as the number ends on 5, already made in video on this particular topic. Then the second part is when the numbers are nearby 100, nearby 100. This is also covered in the previous video, so I have already made two videos. If you haven't watched those videos, go and watch it first and then come to this particular video where we are going to discuss about the third segment and the last segment in this squaring of numbers, right? So basically, this squaring of number, the third segment is totally squaring of those numbers which are near to the 50, near to the 50, right? Now, for an example, let us finish this part very fastly and then we can going to do one more video on simplification, right? Again, you guys know about it, 5 questions of simplification like in every banking exam. So we have to learn certain shortcut tricks related to simplification as well. And these things, right? Vedic mathematics, the calculations, the squaring of numbers, the cube of numbers, this will going to help you to do the calculation, the simplification fast as possible, right? So let us finish this particular video, the last segment on the squaring of numbers, then we move to the other segment of simplification where we are going to see multiplication of two-digit number. We are going to see how to identify, how to do the cube of numbers, and so many tricks we are going to see in this particular series of videos, right? And I just making the videos very short duration so that you can enjoy the video and you can learn something from the videos, right? Fine. So let us finish this the last segment and then we can move to the other segment of this Vedic mathematics, right? So this particular segment, the last segment is the whenever the number is nearby 50, right? Let me change the this slide and then we again ready to go. Fine, right. So the last part now, when the numbers are nearby 50, right? So we are going to consider, again, I'm just telling you guys now, if you haven't watched the last two videos on squaring of numbers, go watch those videos first and then come to this particular video so that you are going to understand like what we are doing in the classes, right? It is very easy to understand, right? Now, so we have this number 50 whenever the number is nearby 50, and it's going to be a very practical thing to identify whether the number is nearby 50 or 100 or 200 or 500. So it's a very easy to identify those kind of numbers, right? So if I will going to write the number 58, right? So it is very understood that this number is nearby what? 50, right? Easily we can easily identify this number is nearby 50, right? Now again we have to follow the same processes which we have followed in the previous methods, right? Now you can see here, uh, I just told you when I have made the second video when the numbers are nearby 100. So in that particular case we have taken the base as 50, right? And I have told you this thing that if you are going to understand this particular segment, the other segment of Vedic maths are going to be easy for you, right? So when we have taken 100, this time we are taking 50, right? So the only thing, the only difference this particular method will going to create, just we have to do the half, right? If I will going to move from 100 to 50, how can I move from 100 to 50? By dividing it by 2. by making it by half, right? Now let us assume I have taken this number 58 and I have to calculate, I wanted to calculate the square of this particular number, right? The step number first is very common, which we have already deal with that in the previous video. Just see how much this 58 is greater or smaller. Again, it's a greater, and how much plus of 8, right? Now add the same difference into the number, right? 58 plus 8, that will be gives you how much? It's 66, right? 58 plus 8, 66, right? Now, and what was the second step number? First is this one. What is the step number second? Step number second was whatsoever the difference. Now we have to make the square of the difference, right? We have to make the square of the difference. So here plus 8 is the difference between the numbers, and if I will going to do the square, it is going to be 64, right? 64. So it is 64. Now the only thing you have to remember in this particular method, now if you are see very carefully, you're going to find this particular step is similar, this particular step is similar, which we have already covered in the previous video when we are calculating the square of numbers when they are nearby to the 100, right? The only step in this particular type of question, the only step will going to be add whatsoever is the number. Then the step number first, you have to add one thing in the step number first, that is 66, right, to the half of the number. Why half of the number? Because we are taking the base as 50, not 100. So the number is going to be 33, and what will be the square of this 58? So you're directly going to say this 33, 64 is the square of 58, right? Now I will tell you the most easiest way of doing the same question, right? If you are not comfortable in doing the half of the given number, do this thing, right? Whatsoever the difference now, whatsoever the difference, how much is the difference between the number? Is the 8, right? Just do one thing, add or subtract on 25. Easy as that, right? Whatsoever is the difference, whether it's in the negative form, when it is going to be in negative form, when the number is lesser than 50, in that case you have to subtract it. In this case the number is greater than 50, which is 8, we have to add the number. So whatever the difference between the numbers, add or subtract on 25 only, right? Let me change the color, right? So plus 8, what number I will going to have? 33, and do the square of the difference, which is 64. Again we have the same number. See, again we can either, both the methods are possible. Without pen and paper you can do this calculation in your mind, right? It is not so difficult, right? Just you need some practicing of these type of questions, and it can be done very easily, right? Now let me take some more examples so that you can understand. Again, now it totally depends upon the your practicing. If you're going to practice more questions, you're going to be more careful about these type of questions, right? And again I'm telling you now, these questions cannot be asked directly, right? In during the exam they will not going to ask you what is the square of 98 or 100. What they will going to ask you, they will going to put the question in such a way where in some of the steps you are going to use the concept of squared numbers, right? That's why we are doing this particular topics, right? Now I will going to erase this all. If you want to write it down, please pause the video and just write it down the things, right? Now we have the next type, right? Now let's take some more examples based upon this, so that again if you're going to be very smarter with these type of tricks. Now let's take one more example, say 54. I think it is not visible. Let me change the color first. 54, right? 54. What is the square of, guys, 54? Right? Now again we have to take base as 50. How much this 54 is greater than 50? So we can directly say plus 4. Add 54 plus 4, which is going to be 58. do the half of this number. Why half? Because we are taking the base as 50, right? And the steps we are taking as the base of 100. So that for that particular reason, we have to divide it by 2. So after dividing by 2, we are going to get 29, right? And what is the square of 4? The difference, which is going to be 16. So this will be the square of 54, right? Now that can be done by the other method which I have told you earlier. We have a number 54. We have added the number on 54 only. Rather than adding the number on 54, what else you can do? Just do the addition or subtraction on 25. So 25 plus 4, it is going to be 29, and square of 4, it is going to be 16. That's all, right? Hope so it's making sense to all the students who are watching this particular videos. And right, and please guys, do subscribe the channel, do like the videos, right? Because this is the only motivation for us to make these kind of videos for you guys, right? And again, now it's a starting phase, right? We are just making some kind of videos of this quality. It will going to improve in future as well. So just please support us, and definitely we are going to provide you the quality content at the end of the day, right? Now, let's take some more examples so that you guys are going to be very much familiar about these tricks, right? Let's take a number which is less than 50, 43, right? Again, this is nearby 50, which can be easily identified. 53, and how much this 53 is smaller or lesser? So you're going to tell me that it is smaller. How much? 7, right? So it is going to be minus 7. So I will tell you by both the ways. Either you can do 53 minus 7. The number is going to be 36, right? And after dividing it by 2, we are going to get 18, right? Now, in the other way, I told you whatsoever is the difference, you can add or subtract on 25. So 25, and the number is minus 7. So minus 7, that is going to be how much? Again, it is going to be 18, right? Here also we have 18. Here also we have 18. And do the square of minus 7. So minus 7 multiplied by minus 7, it is going to be plus of 49 in both the cases. So the answer is going to be 1849, right? So this is the square of 43, right? Again, guys, if you have any other separate number in your mind, you can write it down in the comment box so that we can see it and we can resolve your queries, right? Fine. Now let's take some more example so that you guys understand in a better way. Let's take a number 62, right? 62, square of 62. Just a second. Just a second, guys. Just a second. Um, okay. Just a second. Okay, right. So we have taken the number 62, right? 62, right? So let us take the number 62 and see by applying the same tactics or the trick whether we are able to find the square of this number or not, right? So for this, again, we are going to choose the similar steps, right? Right now. So what steps I have told you? Again, you have to allocate the base. So in this case, we are going to take the base as 50, right? And how much this number 62 is greater than 50. So directly we can say plus of 12, right? Again, I am telling you now, guys, if you haven't watched the last previous two videos, go and watch those videos now. Uh, in this type of calculations, in this type of shortcut method, those two videos are also going to help you to do these calculations easily, right? So 62 is the difference. So what I'm going to do, 62 plus 12, so that is going to be 74, right? 74 and dividing by 2. Why dividing by 2? Which I have already told you guys, right? So that is going to be how much? 37, and the square of 12. What is the square of 12, guys? So square of 12 is 144. We all know about this, right? Now, again, if you're going to watch the previous video, now I have told you whenever we are going to have a three-digit number, we have to pick the last two-digit number, which is double four. What else is remaining? This one. One will be going to be the added as carry over, right? So that is going to be of 38, and two fours will comes as it is. So the answer is going to be 3844 will be your final answer, right? Do let me know if you have any doubt in these type of calculation. Definitely we are going to discuss about it, right? Now let us take some higher level of squaring numbers, right? As you can see the caption, I have mentioned that squaring of numbers from 1 to 1000, right? So let's take some higher grade numbers, higher value numbers. For an example, if I will going to take 998, square of 998, right? Now as you can see, 998 is the, so in this case, what is the base? Again, if you are going to follow my videos now, what will be the base? Base is going to be 1000. How much this number is lesser than this 1000? So you are going to say minus of 2. So 998 minus of 2, which is going to be 996, right? And what's the square of minus 2, which is going to be 4, right? 4, right? Square of minus 2 is 4. Now, as you can see in the base, we have a three-digit number. So rather than writing 4 as it is or writing 04, we have to write 004. So the square of 998 is going to be 996004. Similarly, if I will take the number 1030, right? Again, the base is going to be 1000. How much this number is greater? So you are going to say this 13. So 1013 plus 13, which is going to be 1026. And what is the square of 13, guys? So 169, 169. Again, I am telling you guys in the previous video as well, I have told you this. Still, if you are not aware about, again, these tricks can be implemented on the squaring of numbers like 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 21, 22, right? On these numbers as well, we can implement the similar like shortcut on those numbers as well, and we can calculate easily the square of those numbers. But my advice is be aware about the square of numbers and cube of numbers at least of 20, up to 20, right? It will be beneficial for you guys, right? It will be helpful because when I will say what is the square of 18, right? Rather than applying any kind of a trick, if you remember it, you can answer it very easily, right? Now, let's take some more examples based on this, right? Now, for an example, if I will going to take this number 206, square of 206, right? Now, in this particular case, if you're going to see 206, it is far away from 100, right? So in this case, the comfortable base is going to be 200, right? Just remember the 50 now. When we are taking the base as 50, we have just divided the 100 by 2, and then we have got 50 as the base. Similarly, when we are taking the 200 base, now in this case, it is going to be 100 multiplied by 2, then we are going to have 200, right? Now the similar steps we are going to follow in this particular question as well, right? Now, how much this 200 is greater, 206 is greater than 200? So you're going to say 6. So the number is going to be 206 plus 6. It is going to be 212, right? Fine. Up to this particular point, just be remember that we have twice the base, right? We have multiplied 100 by 2, then we have got the base as 200. Similarly, we have to multiply this number by 2, that will be 424, right? And what is the square of 6, guys? So 36. So 424, 36 will be the square of this number. Similarly, if I will going to take the number as 304, right? So in this case, the base is going to be 300. How much this number is greater? So 4. So 304 plus 4, the number is going to be 308. Up to this particular point, we have to multiply it by 3. So that is going to be 924, right? And square of 4 is going to be 16. This is the square of 304. Similarly, whenever the number is nearby 400, 500, and so, you can apply these tricks to solve those questions easily, right? Now, apart from this, we have a universal method whenever we talk about squaring of numbers. Apart from these tricks, we have a universal method, right? Which I also going to discuss with you, so that you should be aware about it, right? Now, each one of you know about this formula. What is a square b? A plus b ka whole square, which is going to be a square 2ab and b square, right? Rather than writing the plus sign, I will going to divide these segment into three different parts, right? Now, so for an example, let us take 32. Square of 32 we have to calculate, right? So 3 will be a and 2 will be b. So what is the square of 3? That is going to be 9. I will change the color, just a second, right? 9. Here it is 2 into 3 into 2, which is going to be 12. And here we have square of 2, which is going to be 4. Just remember one thing, these two parts required a single digit number. Just remember this particular point only, and it can be done easily. As you can see, this 4 is a single digit number, so no changes required in this particular part. If you're going to say this 12, it's a two-digit number. So we have to do, again, pick a number from the right hand side, which is 2. What is left over is 1. 1 is going to be carry forwarded and added into the next number. So that is going to be 10. 2 will be comes from here and 4 will going to comes from here. So 1024 will be the square of 32. Similarly, do let me know what will be the square of 36, what will be the square of 72, what will be the square of 29, right? So just do the squaring of these numbers and let me know in the chat box section, right? So that's it in the squaring of numbers, right? Let me know if you have any doubt apart from this. Tell me in the comment section. We are going to discuss it in the coming videos, right? Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for your time, right? I'm just going to end the video here. And in the next class, we are going to discuss about some simplification tricks, right?